Good morning. I'm excited, honored, and pleased to be here. This is the best graduation in the world because when you all walk in, there are children and parents cheering for you. The kids are like, there's my mom, there's my dad. The parents are like, I told them to do it years ago. They finally got here. So I'm excited for you on this day, your day, and I will not be before you long because I know you all are in a hurry to leave, get to the airport, or to a restaurant and have yourselves paged. Tell him to call Dr. Brown. That's me. I don't blame you. Before I get started, I want to share with you my recipe for living and continuing in this incredible purpose. Because the beautiful thing about Capella is that it's not just about a rigorous degree, and it was rigorous. You all, I met somebody in the airport yesterday. They said, I signed up, I was excited. I got my books, I was excited. And then I opened them, I was like, what was I thinking? And so it's not just rigorous, it's about finding your passion, your purpose, and being connected to it for the rest of your lives and changing everything. Before I get started, I always like to start doing whatever I do by offering a meditation. I meditate publicly in the form of music because music is the most parsimonious language. Parsimony is one of those $3 words. It simply means it says the most in the least amount of space. The only other language that does it better is Ebonics. Because it be that way sometimes. Now, I was raised that you never sing after a real singer. And if you have to, you do that Pentecostal thing. Y'all gonna have to pray for me. Listen to the words. This song talks about in order to change the world, we have to change ourselves. We were talking about it in line. The highest form of knowledge, Socrates said, is self-knowledge. And the difficulty with that is that we take ourselves for granted. We don't think about all the things you do in life until there's that moment that possibly takes them away. I had that moment a few years ago. I was on a plane and the engine was struck by lightning. The pilot did a brilliant job of calming everybody down. He said, don't worry, look out the window, you see all those ambulances there for you. This happened to be the time of year when I do an annual fast. I fast for 40 days, 40 nights. I don't eat. It is grueling. I don't recommend it. I drink water and juice. I usually cheat on the 29th day. I no longer call it cheating. I just call it communion. Except last year I knew I was really wrong because I was in the kitchen going, Jesus, your body needs butter. Now, some of you are like, that is not funny. I have a friend like that. She's so spiritually minded, she's no earthly good. You know those people, how you doing today? I am blessed and highly favored. Maybe you should tell your face. So I tell my friend, and she's like, that is not funny. I said, you've never fasted, have you? Because people who complain about what it is you do, they say, oh, that's easy, that's easy, that's easy. That's because they've never done it. PhD is easy, it's easy, it's easy. You've never done it. Because usually on the 5th day, if you're fasting, you see Jesus and he's holding a biscuit. Anyway, I want this fast. It was the 32nd day of the fast. The plane is going down rapidly. You would think at this heightened spiritual, mental, emotional state, I'd call everybody together to pray. At the very least, we'd collectively hum. 32 days of fasting, my first thought was not let us pray. My first thought was, I should have ate. But as you all have learned, time goes by quickly. And the outcome is always better than what you go through. And if you commit yourself to doing it, to just putting yourself there, in those moments of shoulda, woulda, coulda, you realize that life is going to keep going. But if I don't take care of me, I won't be able to take care of the we. And you've made this commitment, and it's a powerful one. Cannot change the world we see till change begins with you and me. We change the world around us when the change begins with you. Patiently, courageously, you are the change we need. You've let the change begin. You've let the change begin. I like recipes. People have formulas. You know those formulas. If you fall down, you can look up, you can see up, you can be up. I'm thinking, shut up. We don't all start in the same place. I grew up in a single-headed household, 7 children, cycles of poverty, abuse, alcoholism, and go figure I had an attitude. Bigger the insecurity, the bigger the attitude, but I had somebody in my life who was in purpose. They did their job in spite of the circumstances. This woman graded my homework. It was an amazing thing because she was my teacher, but I had balled it up and threw it at her. She gave it back, got me on track to go to college, took it to my counselor. He said, we don't have time to waste on this kid. She's not college material. She didn't come from the right family. She doesn't have the right stuff. She doesn't have the right grades, and she's got a bad attitude. Because she was in purpose, she ignored him and took it to another counselor at a completely different school. This counselor not only helps me with that application, but sends off one to a school that I'd never heard of. That's the one school that accepted me. They said, we decided to accept you. You don't have enough money to go here, and you're the lowest SAT score we've ever seen. How do you think you'll be able to go? I'm thinking to myself, I didn't apply. But I didn't say that because I was not the polished woman you see before you today. I said, you want me at that school? You better find me some money. Fortunately for me, I'm talking to people who are in purpose. They do their job in spite of the circumstances. She says, you're not going to believe this. We got a call this morning from a millionaire benefactor who wanted to support somebody like that, but until then, we hadn't accepted anybody. Wow. I go to school, I graduate with honors, and win the President's Cup for Leadership. I call my family and say, I'm going to graduate school. They said, we thought you already graduated. Don't act like that didn't happen to you. Nobody told me at the graduate level 9 hours was a full load, so I took 18. I didn't know. But that's how I finished my master's in 2 semesters, maintained my 4.0, and got my PhD at 26. Had I listened to people who said, you can't do this, you don't belong here, I wouldn't be in this room, but neither would you. All of you had to go beyond and above what somebody said was possible. So I'm sharing ingredients rather than steps to a formula, because the only formula I believe that really works in life is E = mc squared. That energy is matter that's been liberated once the speed of light times itself blows on it. It is our job to be the speed of light times itself, blowing on what matters in people's lives so that it becomes energy. That's the only thing. So what do? We walk with purpose, and then you have to pass it on. The gap between knowledge and wisdom is your ability to teach it to someone else. I finally got a new cell phone. My daughter kept saying, you need a new cell phone, because my old one was a rotary. And the amazing thing about you all is that you had to learn, and then you had to learn online, and technology is constantly growing. My kid keeps saying, Mom, you need a BlackBerry. My last name is Berry. I am a BlackBerry. I get this thing, I can't program it. She's like, give it to me. I said, how did you do that? I said, teach me how to do it. I said, no, teach me. This is the first generation that knows more than their parents, but they don't have as much wisdom. And we're going to hold that wisdom card until we die. But when you can teach what you know, you are now a wise person. It is up to you to teach what you know. And then but right before the last one, here's what I want you to do. Recognize that those of you who are now here, you can never be better than those of you who helped you to get here. You can't be. Oh, we call you doctor. I was in the hallway this morning. I saw a couple coming down the way. I said, are you graduates? No. I said, do you have a family member? Yes. What department? PhD. I said, what's her name? Susan Evans. Getting a PhD. And I was so happy for them because their joy was as if they had the PhD. And you've got to understand that when I went to defend my dissertation, the old mothers from my church said, we're coming to your thing. They said, what time it is? I said, what? They said, we're going to come. I said, please don't. No, baby, we going to come. Don't worry. starts at 11 when it really starts at 10. I'm so grateful that I was too stupid to know that old people show up early. To this day, I'm the only person to defend without making any changes, not because of my brilliance and hard work, but because they fed my committee. And because if somebody said something they didn't understand it, you tested this .01 rather than .05, you care to explain. They didn't understand it, but they got to praying out loud, in the name of Jesus. Come on in the room, the baby trying to get that PD. They didn't know what it was, but they knew it was important to me, and therefore it was important to the kingdom. You have to have that mindset about you. In the past, listen, we were all standing outside saying, this is amazing. The earth is tilting off its axis because people who were told they couldn't do it have done it. You are the kind of degree that makes so much difference in the world, and we all had chills because we want you in the club. And you have to have that spirit about others. You got to look at somebody and go, it's your time. You belong in this club, and you know it. Oh, walk around better than the people you've trained for a minute. You know what I'm talking about. There are people you train who are your boss now. And there will be the temptation to go, do it. But understand this, that unto whom much is given, much is required. And it's now required for you to pass it on. Listen, a capella, if you look up the word capella, it says it's the star. And you look further, it looks like an individual star working on its own. But when you get closer, you realize that it's a star system. Wow. You all sat at home, logging in on your own, and you felt alone. Family members going, what are you doing this for? You have enough. You've been enough. You should quit. You should give up. And you said, no, I'm not alone. I'm going to keep going. And now you see this whole star system, and you can shine so brightly. Remember to walk in gratitude. Gratitude is not one of the virtues. It is the parent of all others. Be grateful to the Capella family for pushing you forward, and make sure that you bring someone else along. And finally, last, I want you all to laugh, to enjoy. This is a serious, solemn occasion. So when your loved one comes across this stage, act like you love them. Act like you ain't got no sense. Act like you know that this is the moment that you have been waiting for so long. Because this is that moment. We have to live in this moment and grab it like it's now. Live it to its fullest and enjoy every moment that we have. We call you doctor. I am so incredibly proud of you. I want you to go through life with gratitude, with joy, with sharing others. Share your Capella story. Make sure people know that what you've done is possible. This moment is not just for you as an individual star. It is for the galaxy, and you continue to shine bright. Wow. Thank you.